Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. Today is going to be a live call-in show, and oh my God, is my mic hot? 1 second, everyone. Why is my mic so hot?
Sounds pretty good to me.
It's like booming in my own ears.
Nothing like self-feedback.
Let
That
me
was a
turn my
joke.
gain down. I don't know what the fuck is. Let me turn the speaker volume down. That works. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, everybody. This is going to be an open call-in show. Talk about anything and everything you want. Now, when I usually do this, I give the addendum of think of me. Think of me strangely. Think of me softly. Think of me like the Phantom of the Opera. Or think of me like the Galactic historian that you would like to ask questions with. If you are going to ask a question, what is your purpose? I will tell you your purpose was to ask that question, and now you have no more purposes. We got a lot of people in here, a lot of hands raised. Robert, let's hit that wheel of callers and see who the universe wants to present to us as the potential person that might ask interesting questions.
Okay, Nirvana Waters.
Nirvana Waters, are you
You're
there?
live.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Thank you kindly for accepting me. Where do you start with the solstice and everything? I had a session with you in February this year.
What did we talk about?
I called in with my partner, Aurora, and we talked about a broad range of things, anything from business to where we wanted to live and move to what else was there? Business stuff. There was all sorts, like mental and emotional stuff as well. And we had questions about like children as well.
So, vaguely it's triggering something.
Yeah. Yes, very vague. Actually, you gave me a process to do my seeds, and you said
I remember you now.
The transition. You told me to move down to Melbourne to be closer to the big city for me to bridge my offerings.
Yep.
To share with the world, be closer to my family, and I've been doing my prayers into my seeds.
How's that working?
I planted a few about a week and a half ago. I don't know if they've come up yet, but I've been the last 10 days or so, I've been praying pretty heavily into them, and I'm really actually enjoying the process a lot.
Beautiful. That's the whole point, is to enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's just I really love just sound advice, the practicality of being just, just giving me sort of like a roadmap of what I can implement in a practical sense.
What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, so what do I want to talk about today? So in the theme with the solstice, this energy, this balancing of energy, down here and down under in Australia, we're moving into the season of spring, new beginnings and this birthing of new life. So I was wondering, for not just myself, but for other people in general, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the opposite way around. You're going into autumn. So you're going into fall. So I suppose with the changing of these seasons, what sort of changes of inspiration, creativity, and dreams can we manifest for ourselves so we can live in harmonious relationships with our angels, guides, guardians, our ancestors, and the lands we live on?
Good question.
Our ancestors as well.
So up here, we're in autumn moving into winter, and down there, you're spring moving into the summer.
Yeah.
So the teachings are the same, but just a little bit of opposite. You're the beginning of more sunlight, leading into more sunlight, meaning you want to absorb sunlight. And on the opposite end, winter, so autumn into winter, you want to produce light. So you've moved from the winter, and now you've got to start the absorption of sunlight. through a prayer process, a ritual, a ceremony, sun gazing, as well as stargazing, and having a greater understanding that as we move from season to season, there are different things that affect us, different things that move through us, but a common set of parameters that fall and summer and spring, they all have a standard thing. In spring, we have the things coming out of hibernation and growth. What has been hibernating in you? Also, what light have you been producing while it was the winter time? And as you begin absorbing light, you will produce a different light. So as you're coming out of your spring into summer, what light am I absorbing so that I can have an active several months, the summer months of absorbing this light with the intention as it turns to winter, 6 months or 5 months from now for your end, that you're going to be producing this light that you've absorbed. It's like reaping what we sow. You're just planting the spiritual crops for yourself.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you say that, because the planting of the seeds, coming into spring, I feel like it's just such a pivotal time, and it feels so right and so fitting, because those winter months, the light that came out was really dense. It was really like the shadow end of the spectrum for me, especially that Lionsgate that passed. That was fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah. And I warned everyone it was going to be.
That was a fucking initiation and a half. I can tell you that. Bloody was like a rhino horn up the clacker.
With the full horn, the full head going like that.
Oh man, fuck, ripped me a new one. Yeah, part of my journey, like I was up in far north Queensland, up near the Daintree, which is one of the oldest rainforests in the world, and I was preparing to go into a retreat, into a sacred meditation, and on my way there, at the crossroads of the nearest town that I was going into, I actually hit a white bird, a cockatoo, and I think I killed it. And I kept driving, and my partner was like, no, you got to turn around. You got to go back to it. So I went back, and it was struggling really bad on the side of the road. And I picked it up and I took it to the vet. And I was like, fuck, what does this mean going into this retreat? Because I find the white bird like a symbolism, or like it's a totem animal for me, like the white dove, this messenger of peace. And I'd killed this bird. And
or there's another way to see it.
I felt like it was like a death of myself almost.
It sacrificed itself for your greater creation.
Yes.
So when it comes to vehicles and killing things, every single one of those actions is a spiritual contract.
Yeah.
So in the past, I had my very first car was an 88 Escort 4-speed stick, and my left headlight was taken out by birds 4 separate times in a span of a year.
Wow.
So I had to look at that message, the left eye, okay, and the light that I'm illuminating, and these were doves that I hit, all doves, and then one crow. So what it really meant was the peace that was around me, it was sacrificing itself to keep the peace. But at the same time, the crow was about the ceremonial energy that was coming to me in the future. Shortly after that, I started working with the Ojibwe Indians and doing all sorts of things. And it truly prepared me for a next level of personal interaction. Okay. Okay. Part of your understanding here, don't overlook at the death of the bird.
Yeah.
See it as a sacrifice, not in vain, but to benefit your personal growth. It was exactly its time to go. Okay?
Yeah.
Things die during spring, and things are born during spring too. And same thing in autumn and winter. They won't survive. How many times did that bird have a close call with 1,000 other cars?
True that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of birds. Everybody knows their local birds play chicken with cars. Okay. They're playing chicken. It's going to hit me or not. Well, he just didn't move fast enough. You weren't intending to kill him. You were like, yeah, come here, bird.
Yeah.
You weren't staring into him. Okay. The fact that you took him to a vet, that means you made sure his death was peaceful. and you fulfilled your part of that spiritual contract. So how is it living in the city now?
Oh, well, I'm trying to find my place here because I haven't found an abode to fully settle and ground and anchor into. I've been spending a lot of time trying to find a place online, and it's consuming a lot of my time at the moment. Because I'm trying to work out whether I live an hour from the city in sort of a retreat space, because I've got to juggle my finances. So for me to hire a retreat space and then also rent a place closer to the city, with expenses and everything, I just got to find the right balance and what's best for me and my partner. So
you see, the renting and hiring of the retreat space, it may have to be not a permanent rental, permanent lease. You just find one that you can rent for the time that you need it and incorporate it in the cost and the price of what you're doing. This example over here where I'm at, right around me are these old Cub Scouts or kids retreat centers that no longer in use. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So they've got cabins on 900 acres, lakes and rivers and everything you can think of. And they rent them out for dirt cheap here. And it's just a matter of getting on their schedule. So if you know you're going to be doing a retreat, find someone that fits for what you need and pay the fee to go and rent it for the time that you need it so that you can stay within the city, because in all reality, more clients are going to come from the city than you're going to make out of the retreat. The retreat is to transition to clients for what? The next level of the work that you want to teach and work with them.
Yeah.
And also don't think that you can't do things at hotels. You can. There are a lot of hotel spaces that have these conference and meeting rooms that are big, that, you know, you can freshen up with flowers and plants and all sorts of stuff to make it doable for what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be industrious and solution oriented and not set the retreat center can only be this. No, you're not limited to that. It doesn't even need to be a retreat center. It just needs to be a space that's viable for you to do your work in and is somewhat energetically compatible.
What's going to be best for the people, though, taking them out to nature, you know?
Sure, but that also requires a higher price, doesn't it? Versus everything local in the city. And people don't have to rent the hotel room. They're just renting the space or a meeting hall or whatever it's going to be. Okay.
Yeah. With being in the city, I do love it. I love the experiences. I love the people. I love the different opportunities that are unfolding and the connections that I'm making. And I've really had to pick up my game. And thanks to you with the spiritual tools, with the revocations, I find that they help a lot. With the meditations that they've been helping a lot and the different modalities that I've been implementing. They're definitely, without those, I think I would fucking lose my shit. Just because I've been, you know, isolated and up on the mountain for so long. So yeah, getting off the mountain and setting up shop, it comes with its challenges, but it also comes with its beauties, you know. Right. So it's such
the inherent challenges of being away in the mountains versus having a brick and mortar building around people, huge difference. But the strategy of the brick and mortar building will far more benefit yourself as a business person, the clientele that want to work with you, because there's far more clientele that work with you on a daily or weekly basis versus being able to go to retreats. Once again, people that are going to go to retreats is they want to take it to the next level. So it allows you to have one-day seminars easily done. It's just finding the space that's compatible to the work that you're going to do. Right? I've done drumming seminars in hotels, and I'll just tell them ahead of time. They don't care. Right? They put you in the room that's not going to affect anyone else. Can hotels be expensive? Yes, they can. Then you find the ones that aren't expensive. Places that do weddings, great. They'll love to rent out to people. And they'll do the food and everything for you. Huh? So what do you think your first retreat's going to be like?
Oh, we've been holding retreats already. So they've been transformational for people. People down here are really yearning for it and reaching out for it.
That's why you're doing the work.
Yeah.
Right? And you can see now what being in the city does for you. So
Like our
ultimately,
interest in our retreats are overflowing at the moment, which has been beautiful.
Oh, that's wonderful. Overflowing retreats are great. Which means you need to find out how to have more retreats. Find more spaces to use. Is that your girl?
Yeah, she's coming over.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. Where am I looking? Let's see.
He's just disappeared then.
Can you see me now?
No.
But do you just see yourself?
Yeah, in the corner.
Okay, you're just in single view. Top right of the screen, you're going to see a button that says view, and just pick on gallery.
I got gallery now.
You're on speaker view now.
Oh,
So
there
whoever's
it is.
speaking is going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello, how you doing today?
Yeah, good. I just woke up. I've got a question. Is that all right?
Sure, go ahead.
I've been praying into the seeds, like you said, not as much as I'd like to, but I want to get deeper into it. And I'm wondering, when you said, pray into them for a certain amount of time, it was in regards to a question that I asked you about dealing with my sensitivity and sort of the contamination in the world. You said a certain amount of time with the seeds. When I go to plant those seeds, can I plant them into pots first and then
Yes.
into the ground, or does
You
it
can
have
plant
to
you can plant them any way that you want, pots or whatever. In the ancient days, seeds are what kept the future generations alive. Seed prayer, seed songs, and the initial planting of the seeds are very, very sacred. No matter what indigenous culture that you come from, they all have a seed prayer process and a planting process. So absolutely, you can make special pots that also have prepared prayers over it too. It's all about how in depth do you want to go into the birthing process with them.
Okay.
Yeah, because those seeds are songs and songs are seeds. So I feel that evolution of that and that co-creation has been such a beautiful journey to be part of.
And every year,
because I'm praying for, you talk about, the past, linking to our ancestors in the future for our future generations. And I really feel that linking into this present moment of now, these prayers being seeded and sowed for, the earth and for, the elements and for the animals, and for those prayers to be taken by the dream time and the song lines and the ley lines, and for them to return to where they need to go, essentially, for our inspiration, creativity, and dreams to come true.
Yes. And then there are specific seeds that are fruiting seeds, like tomatoes, apples, etc., etc. No, apples come from a tree, avocado, whatever it is. No matter how big or small the seed or nut or whatever it is, you also know relatively when it's going to be harvested. So when you create a seed prayer, you also want to add in the knowledge that it will be harvested one day and used, and begin to think about the many ways you can convert the harvest into preservable food. That's the next form of seed magic, that's taking the energy that you've given it from the very birth to the point that it's fruited, and then you begin to store it for the next year. And then the ceremonial saving of the seeds from the end of the season to begin doing it again.
And it also sparks something inside me when you say that, because planting big trees is a passion of mine. So I had a dream one time where I spoke out loud in my dream, I said, we have to plant big trees, and Aurora
Mm-hmm.
heard me in his sleep. And I feel like those big trees, if I also speak into them and say, look, we're going to use you to create, you know, our space of love and build with you, so our children can live in this space, this sanctuary, that would be really healing for them and protective for them, but also using those big trees, you know, tonal trees for creating like musical instruments and such.
So
well.
another thing to understand about trees. So when you have a sapling, it's generally 4 to 5 and maybe 6 years old, and it's only about that big. Some of them are a little bit bigger. So every year, winter, you can find seeds from a tree, bring them into home pots, and let them grow over the winter, and let them be what I call baby sentinels. You're giving them the life of the indoor, the warmth of the winter, the prayers, the nutrients. And then when the spring comes, you go to plant that tree as a seedling in a place that you know it will grow. And every year you plant more and more trees, you are planting the future generations of grandfathers and grandmothers, new sacred groves. And this is something that you can be aware of. Many of the ancient sacred groves have been torn down. And you can nurture a tree and a seedling over the winter to become a grandfather and a grandmother by giving it wisdom, all of the wisdoms that you've learned. Okay. You can also, if you do it right, bring these seedlings to your different retreats over the winter or the summer so they get exposed to the spirit of human and the wisdom of healing. And then when you go to plant them, you are planting the new sacred groves for the next generations of people.
Do you think also it's relevant, like, to be doing this with fruit trees?
Yes.
Some fruit tree seeds only last a few days, like the ones that I want to do it with. How would you incorporate these seed prayers into, fruit tree seeds, for example, that only last 3 to 5 days before they need to be planted from when you eat the fruit?
Like which ones, for example?
There's a one called Durian. Have you heard of it?
No. What's
you're
something
gonna
similar to
try
it?
It's the most amazing fruit
on the whole planet. It's like an aphrodisiac.
It's Durian, and my dad, he grows this, and so I want to do the prayers into the durian seeds. So they call it the king of fruits. It's
like a dinosaur fruit.
Is it a tree? Is it a tree?
Giant tree, yeah.
It's a very big fruit tree.
How long does the tree take to come to life before it gives its first fruit?
15 to about between 8 to 15 years.
Okay. So that's very common with some of the apple trees and the pear trees that are over here. You have a very limited amount of time to activate and use them. You have to use this to your advantage. So that 3 to 5 days, you have to do heavy duty ritual and prayer over the seeds, your most powerful ritual and prayer that's been pre-prepared for months and months and months in advance, so that when you go to plant them, you leave them and you go, welcome to this world now. And you come back and give them continual awareness and journey and continuous ceremonies. But it's really about how much focus can you give in that short period of time before the seeds have to be in the ground so that they can be ready to grow.
And would you say continuing the ceremonies as these trees are growing?
You can, and this is what about planting your own sacred grove.
Yeah, but that's more about, the sacred grove. Who put that?
Robert did that. He's the fastest memer in the West.
A durian tree, compliments of the studio.
So yes, you can plant your own grove and do your own ceremonies on it. And I actually highly recommend it if you've got the space to do that. Those trees become wisdom holders of everything that they see, and everything that's in their DNA is shared with all the ritual and ceremonies that you do. They become powerful magicians at the youngest of age, but that's their mission when being planted from seed under your sacred wisdoms.
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, olive trees, very important to do too. It's very, very good to do in those areas too.
Yeah.
I have a question in relation to our connection and our story. And I was wondering, from a galactic historical sense, if you could share some light on our connection together and our history.
Nothing that's going to put me off.
That doesn't leave Aurora running out the back door, jumping in the car and speeding off 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Well, that may be a significant part. See, when you ask that question, is what am I? Am infinite searching? What applies to you today from that nature of that question? As I filter through the myriads of colors and interactions and the pattern that I find, that is, there is a time where you were both, let's just say, hairdressers to the monarchs of Europe. You would make wigs for the courts, actually do their hair into knotting and so on and so forth. But it was also a magic at that time, a magic that was passed from your mother and father, their mother and father, and their mother and father. How hair knotting and braiding and dyeing, so on and so forth, was a magical process of coming of age, or adults who were stuck in a rut, coming back out of their rut energy. And a way to stop hair loss also. So you were like hair wizards. And you, by the monarch's court, you were absolutely necessary, and you were as valuable as an army. But at the same time, if you did something they didn't like, you got whacked. Okay. I mean, you are as valuable as an entire army, but at the same time, if you did something they didn't like, you got whacked. How does that apply to today? There's no monarch over you. And each of you do your hair your own way. And it's not about hair magic. It's real magic. It's the magic that you can create that can truly authentically change people, versus just coming to age and getting your first braid, or weaving crystals and diamonds into the hairs of the super wealthy, so that they can go out and be sparkly and glamour during their weddings or whatever it is that they would do. Can you, both of you, incorporate some of that wisdom? Absolutely, you can. But what from your teachings could apply to hair magic today?
Well, it's interesting you talk about the hair wizardry, because I seen a hair doctor in Far North Queensland, and he comes from successive generations of hair wizards, and he makes these exquisite combs, the most exquisite combs out of all these different animal bones. Yeah. And I went and had a chat with him.
A hair reading?
A hair reading. Yeah, he did a hair reading with me and took my sample of my hair, and he was just blown away. He was like, you have the most extraordinary hair. I've never met another male with hair like you, because you can get hair. What was he saying about my hair? It was like ribbon hair, the actual shape and formation of it. And he was saying, I haven't met any other man with it except for me.
Because you're a hair wizard.
And he was actually balding, and I can't say he had the greatest hair I've ever seen, but it was pretty funny at the time. You know, it was quite comedic, really.
Okay. So what from hair wizardry can you apply to your teachings and healings today?
The one word just keeps coming through: royal.
Royalty. I don't know. Majesty, magic.
There is a way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, both of you have long hair. You know what it's like when somebody actually works and combs your hair for you, and the relaxation that it can create. Okay, but anybody with long hair, have you ever had somebody braid your hair and do it for you, and you can be in an intense conversation, Maybe that's a way to do, deeper inner work therapy.
Mm.
It's just a matter of allowing yourself to be in the situation. Like, how do we adapt wisdom of healing through hair? And it doesn't need to be all encompassing teaching. It's just figure out how to incorporate it into part of the day of the treatment of the retreat.
Because I feel like the hair is like an extension of our thoughts.
It can be. It can also be a defensive network.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can also store negative energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I had to brush out my dreadlocks one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
So you actually speaking about working with hair hands-on again.
Yes.
Yeah, how do you do that into what we already offer?
Okay.
It's just one part of the retreat. It's not the whole. It's not a hair retreat.
Yes, we're gonna get all sorts of hair wigs out. It's gonna be a real hoo-ha.
Only 12 hours, the same head of hair.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You put a wig on a person that has never had a wig before. You can change their entire emotional state.
Oh, really? Maybe my dad needs one.
Let's say you have somebody that's really emotionally closed down.
Yeah.
Go and find some cheapo wigs from like the 70s and the 80s styles, and just put them on them and allow them to connect to their emotions through different hair actions, and so they can see themselves. Now, I did a lot of work with haunted houses in the past, so I've worn wigs, I've worn all sorts of hair things, and let me tell you, it does make a difference when you see yourself with a hairdo that you could never imagine. Imagine me with big ass dreadlocks all the way down to my ass. Okay. Or giant woman poofy hairdos like this, that high. Well, guys, we've got to move on to the next caller. Thanks for calling in. It was real fun talking to you guys.
So much fun. Thank you so much, Andrew, and
The
blessings
hair
to you.
wizards.
Bye, Andrew.
All right, take it easy. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next. And I'm going to switch devices, Robert. Hold on one second.
All righty. And I was just going to say, if I could remember the story of my wife when that woman jumped off the bridge in front of her car.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that one.
Right. And how at first she went through the whole process of, killing somebody, running over them and everything, and the emotional trauma and everything that went with that. And she did a past life regression or a life regression.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a karmic interaction with that person to have that experience. And that's what came out of it. And that she was there at the right time. Everyone was there at the right time. And, it happened. It's not something you want to experience.
And people not realize she was driving on the freeway outside of Seattle and somebody came off of a bridge and landed on the front of her car.
Yeah. Or she ran over her. Yeah.
Ran over her. Yeah. So, I remember Robert calling me right after that. I'm like, well, let me help you out here. And then I remember telling you to go see Debbie and do the past life regression. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty intense.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me switch devices so there's no echo and shit real quick. Hold on.
All right. Meanwhile, we need
All
device
right. Can you guys hear me?
Music loud and clear.
Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm unmuted now. For some reason, it won't let me go back. There we go. All right, I'm good now. All right, guys, let's go to the next caller because I am dual technology now. I can come and go as I want.
All right. Brent and Amanda, maybe we can get another couple.
Oh, that'd be
Brent
nice.
and Amanda.
Brent and Amanda, are you there?
Signal to unmute.
Hello.
Hello, where are you guys calling from?
We are calling from PA.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, well, first, I just want to thank you because, you've been like such a help on our journey. And yes, that's an understatement. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been watching you for about 10 years now. Trent just started recently, a couple months back.
Listen, when I first started watching you, I'm like, either this guy's completely tapped in or he's the biggest full of shit guy that I've ever met. And I had to figure out which one. So I just kept watching. And yeah, it turns out you're not full of shit. So that's good.
So what's the best thing that I've helped you with?
Everything. Just, coming into more self-awareness, stepping into purpose, connecting with our ancestors. I mean, we do the contract revocations all the time.
The contract revocations has really helped me out a lot.
In what way?
Well, I could really feel like a release whenever I was reading them, especially the sacred masculine, removing myself from the war timelines and incubus succubus grids. Like, I got emotional.
Yeah.
And
They are written for that exact purpose.
Right.
Okay? They're written to trigger you into seeing how you've given your power away and how easy it is to get it back to the power of your voice.
yes,
It's really helped us, speak our truth and step into our truth and expose any falsity in our lives.
and it's really led to being able to see truth more clearly all around. I've rediscovered what our actual value is, and the real blueprint for exchange, and exchanging with beings, and how important our dream time is, and being present in the moment. And like, dude, I didn't even remember my dreams like all my life. Like, the dream time thing was something that like I never even heard of, and it's like this huge deal that I know nothing about. So I've been trying to tap into that lately. The Octurians has came up recently for us. Super recently.
Where in PA are you?
We're in Ambridge. It's a little north of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Are you in like a more foresty type area?
There's
It's
forests
kind of.
around here. We're in an apartment building. We like to sneak off into the forest very often.
So before winter comes, try to go and do a camping trip somewhere.
Okay, we love camping.
Okay. And make sure you can go to a place where you can have a fire.
We did that recently, and it was really a life-changing experience. We connected with the 4 elements. We connected very deeply with our ancestors. For me specifically, it was my native ancestors from a past life. We connected with the fairies. The fairies have been coming through very strongly for us.
Yeah, they're definitely reaching a very high chatty point now. As
Yes.
humanity goes through the craziness of politics, trying to entwine everybody with it, fairy communities are doing whatever they can do to distract people from politics and come back to nature.
Yes, we feel that strongly.
Yeah, we've been kind of on this path. So I don't really know if you know what happened 8/8 as far as our situation goes. I don't know how much we should really reveal.
Just tell me.
We basically exposed a demon that had so much influence on our lives and on me personally. And yes, we exposed it, and dude, it was scared shitless. Like I could not see it, but I was talking to it like it was there. It was a hell of an experience.
You expelled it from your body with the potent of your strength and wisdom, and you were able to talk it into a situation where you installed fear into it. You completely flipped its frequency. Now, that was an ancestral demon haunting you since you were a young kid, creating nightmares and causing you to be disconnected from your dreams and keeping you locked into places where you couldn't activate your power. That's why your teenage years were so tough for you.
Now, was this from a Russian timeline or some kind of family crest I was a part of?
A family crest, correct, from your mother's side at about 1700s. Not necessarily Russia, more Rhineland, Germany.
Anything that I could write down that I could maybe look into later to kind of clear any more of that, or do I need to?
Has it come back?
Well, so some things happened with my son. He ended up, having his skull fractured. I did 4 years in prison. And I recently went into that and found out that we had a soul contract from a Russian timeline between Amanda and I. And he killed her and I killed my family. I made a connection that I was Ivan the Terrible in a past lifetime. And he kind of basically took the sacrifice so I could step into my purpose this lifetime.
It's very common to have spiritual contracts like that. Now, were you put in prison because of the skull fracture?
Yeah.
And where it's a situation with your son now?
He actually got adopted and I do not see him anymore.
So he's living a life that's now planned out through another family.
Yes.
That is karma right there. You spent your time and you went through your spiritual awakening to know why it happened. Do you need to see the son more and more? No. Can you have another child? Well, that will ultimately be up to you and your partner, Claire. Because you are a different human being. Now, as for the demon, did it come back?
I think, okay, so we kind of ran into we were basically led to this thing and we found out there was some Knights of Columbus doing some geometry work in a town that's close by to us.
Yeah, they're not physical beings. They're from another history doing that. Okay. Unfortunately, Pennsylvania is full of very pockets of dark spiritual practitioners who in the 1600s and the 1700s are projecting energy forward to the future. Okay? This is one of the reasons I said to go out to the forest and think about doing some winter camping also. It'll be a way of clearing out whatever's stacking up in the cities or being attracted to you. At this particular point, if it really hasn't come back and made itself known, it's probably not going to come back unless you devolve back into your old self.
Okay, which has not happened. Like, I'm able to just see things a lot more clearly. It's hard to fight something when you don't know what it is, or to clear something when you can't identify it. So, but yeah, as far as the forest thing, we've been going to different areas of the woods and having the sacred ceremony and almost creating our own grid work.
Yes, that is what you're doing. Grid work to manifest your potential now and your potential futures.
And just like the last couple, we feel called to do retreats in the future, to buy some land and work with people in that way. Right now, we're just running a little magical business. We both do healing. I do astrology. We do divine union coaching for people.
Okay. How is the business going now?
It's going really well, actually. It's going better than we thought it would. It kind of picked up rather quickly, but we're trying to expand more into helping people one-on-one. We actually want to do like a podcast or something like you do as well, to answer questions for people and be able to give out wisdom and knowledge and, then work with people one-on-one as well.
Well, all you need to do is create a menu of services, one specific for couples, one for individuals, or for people who have left difficult relationships and need to regrow the social skills of how to have relationships again.
Right.
Now, what kind of retreats did you want to run?
Just some kind of spiritual retreat where people come and we do like ceremony and, you know, we can get deeper into their own karma and help them figure out ways that they can break free from that. Helping people align with their own purpose and stepping into their own power and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, those are easy retreats to do. It's literally just finding the rent space to do it.
Right.
And I know you're in PA in that area. There are plenty of rent spaces that you can find. Old YMCA camps that are now open to whoever to rent and use them for whatever reason. Okay,
Right.
all sorts of things. You just got to find. You can even do it at an Airbnb. It's
Yeah,
something
that's
that
actually a good idea.
you can even do it. It's just a matter, does the Airbnb have the proper property you want to be able to use?
Yeah. One question that I had, we're actually going into some heavy ceremony this evening.
Okay.
We've had some spiritual attacks going on recently, and I was just wondering if there's any messages maybe from our ancestors, from our galactic future selves, or, you know, any loved ones or anyone on the other side who's, you know, trying to support us through this.
There is. Give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I turn on our video, Andrew?
Your video is on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It's just on. You're on speaker view. Top right of the screen, click gallery, and then you'll see both of us at the same time.
I'm seeing everybody at the same time.
There we are.
There you are.
Oh,
Just one second.
There we are.
I didn't even know you could see us this whole time.
Yeah, we could. We're magical. Because of what you have described before, I'm going to do a little bit of an extended process on you. And I'm going to put up a document for everyone. Just one second here. Hold on a second. All right.
Yeah, Mommy.
Just so everyone can see, this is our awesome llama while Andrew does his thing.
Beautiful. All right.
Made a connection with the shamans in Peru as well.
Beautiful. All right. So if you look inside the chat room, you're going to see a PDF document that says the lightning crashes outside.
Okay.
What I'm going to have you do is you're both going to read it, but you're going to read it a little bit in unison and a little bit at one at a time.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to separate your individual lives and determine, is it an attack on both of you individually, if it's ancestral? This document is by design meant to draw up some of your more potent spiritual energies.
Okay.
Okay.
So just,
Would you like us to read that now?
yeah, you're going to read it now. Now, key to this is reading slow. So Trent, you're going to start. You're going to do the first 3 paragraphs. She's going to do the second 3 paragraphs, and then you're going to do 1 paragraph together.
Okay. The lightning crashes outside my sacred cave, echoing through my soul, revealing my hidden fright. I go closer to the sacred fire, yearning for safety of the grandmother's touch. The lightning crashes once more. This time it strikes my heart, spaced knowingness of the 5th world of peace.
Take a pause.
Okay.
What are you feeling as you're reading?
I might be a little nervous. I don't know.
Okay. What are you feeling, darling?
I do have a lot of nerves going on right now. I do kind of feel like, and I felt like this on and off for a while, but I feel like there's something tugging on my heart chakra.
Okay. I want you to put your hand over his heart and the other hand over the back of his heart. And when you're going to go to read, you're going to read 2 more paragraphs, but I want you to read 50% slower.
Okay.
All right, so you want me to start now?
Me.
No, he's going to do it.
It strikes a chord in me. that has not been wrung since the dawn of my eternal struggle. My mind set ablaze with thoughts of past, present, and future, lost in no time, found in time. My heart speaks as the thunder crashes. Aho, friend of friends. It is I, the eternal heart of Great Spirit, here in the now, speaking to you through the thunder, the rain, and winds.
Okay, take a pause. How did that feel now?
I felt like I wanted to cry and to get emotional when I first started reading it.
Mhm.
I just feel like intense energy running through my body to the point where I'm like shaky.
Okay, switch positions now. You put your hand over her heart in the back of the heart, and she's going to pick up where you left off. You're going to read slow, not as slow as him. If you feel emotional, let it out. Don't allow the emotions to be stuffed down.
Okay.
Go ahead when you're ready.
Aho, friend of friends, you are our living hope of finding remedy for the 4 previous teacher worlds. Aho, friends of all friends, it is I, the great mystery unified in the uni worlds layered over all forms of thought and creation.
Take a pause. There's a lot of crackling in your voice without its normal power.
Okay.
You got to find your power here.
Aho, friend of all light friends, it is I, the you of the now, reaching beyond the veil of the dream wave, asking you to dreamwave with the living algorithms of life. Be the lightning, be the wind, speak the eternal words of the 5th world of peace. Be the peacemaker, and the lightning beings will strike you with inspiration, with wisdom and advanced knowingness of peace and harmony. And unity for all creature beings, using the Dreamweaver as the method of spiritual locomotion through all time space with great mystery.
Okay,
Grandmother Spider says, my.
Stop right there. Now you're going to both put your hand over each other's heart and each other's back. And you're going to read this one paragraph where it says Grandmother Spider. That rest of that paragraph. I'm sorry, you're going to read the next 3 paragraphs together. Now, you're going to be in unison and out of unison. Just try to read together. This is going to reveal what's going on with the attack, if it is an attack. Go ahead.
Grandmother Spider says, my, how have you come to this space, aware and unaware of the eternal struggle? You are the source of great mystery to me. We want you to teach the future generations of Dreamweavers of what courage is needed to face the elements of our misperceptions and deceptions, and conceptions of what is real, false, what is red and blue, what is our soul, and what is the soul of another trying to stay alive one last second of breath.
Okay, stop. How did you feel reading in unison?
It was more powerful when we read together. I felt more grounded personally.
Okay. You, Trent?
A little bit of the opposite. I didn't feel as much grounded.
Because you're taking all my energy.
Yeah, and it's a little harder for me to read things with someone and understand them from a place of center.
Okay. So take your hands off of each other. So Trent, you're going to read the next page. But Amanda, what I want you to do is you're going to have to go behind him and hold your hands over his ears.
Okay.
So that you're creating a bubble of energy over his ears. Okay. So be about 5-6 inches away from the ears. And if he starts pulling your energy, pull your hands further away.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and read, Trent. You're going to read at a slow pace, but not painfully slow like before.
Okay. Each sacred breath you take to push away the fear brings you closer to a truth you have known since the dawn of all your eternal births. What was forgotten through each birth is now remembered. In every single flash of lightning, every infinite thought is now returned to your sacred wisdom, transforming the unknown into heart space knowingness of the eternal, universal fetus, weaving the dream weave. Before the dream weave has inhabited by light beings with Akashic Records. Aho, friend of friends, it is I, the grandmother weaver of the universal expression of light strings. Aho, friend of all friends, I ask you to come to the universal sacred fire of creation and sit with the elders of elders to ponder, live, and breathe the sacred universal smoke signals of the creators of all that is, was, and ever will be. Me dreaming you before you dreamed me, and me dreaming you so peace could manifest in a world that needs peace.
Stop. How did you feel when you were reading that?
I felt more empowered.
Okay. Amanda, what did you feel?
I started to feel a lot more calm as it went on.
Okay.
I have a lot of energy rushing through me right now, and I feel a little more grounded.
So what's going on here is you're not in a state of attack. You're both in a state of rapid advancement. And whatever little things that you guys haven't worked on now are creating a sucking energy between the two of you.
Okay.
Now, this isn't necessarily negative. It just means you're both growing at a rapid pace. One is not growing faster than the other, but parts of your growth are going into different directions, which might be perceived as a separation, but it isn't. Part of the male and the females, you experience the same thing through different points of view. So switch positions. He goes behind you, and you're going to read the next page. Now, Trent, the key for you here is you have to send her energy. Energy that doesn't discombobulate her. Energy that gives her peace. Okay?
Where's
So,
the document, babe?
okay.
Okay, where were we at?
Right here, I believe.
Aho, friend of friends, I ask you to sit in the fires of creation.
Okay. You ready, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Aho, friend of friends, I ask you to sit in the fires of creation, to go through the eye of the firestorm and come out the other side, the elder of elders, teacher of teachers, the peacemaker of all peacekeepers to come.
Take a pause. You're serious to a point of failure. There has to be a playfulness in you, darling.
Okay.
The stick is too strong right now.
I'm shaking her up, Andy.
It's like, play with the words.
All right.
Okay? This is not you in front of your 9th grade class giving a report. Okay?
Here with the next shot.
It's okay. Start over and be playful.
All right. Aho, friend of friends, I ask you to sit in the fires of creation, to go through the eye of the firestorm and come out the other side, the elder of elders, teacher of teachers, the peacemaker of all peacekeepers to come. Sit with me, friend of all friends, and know we weave in unison with you. The lightning strikes its final chord in my eternal soul.
Pause. You went right back to it. Do you realize this in you?
Yeah, I do have a seriousness in me that I'm working on. I definitely do.
It's creating a deep separation. Okay. So Trent, what I want you to do is start rubbing her shoulders. Take that stress out of her.
Does she massage it?
Okay? The backs of her shoulder blades, the back of her neck. You've got to lower your volume, and you got to be like the mother reading a bedtime story to a child.
Okay, I can do that.
It's got to be the peaceful voice, not the aggressive shrill you got going.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Where
All
you
right.
left.
Sit with me, friend of all friends, and know
You're
we
still
lead.
you're not in a motherly, peaceful voice here. You went right back into seriousness, and it's stuck in your sacrum right now. So put your hand over your sacrum. Break that energy of seriousness up. Peaceful, calm voice.
Okay. Sit with me, friend of all friends, and know we weave in unison with you. The lightning strikes its final chord in my eternal soul, signaling the end of an eternal struggle. I am now at peace with all that is, was, and ever will be. I am the living, breathing manifestation of peace. Today, I walk into the great unknown. Today, I travel the multiverse free of the constraints of the previous celestial teacher worlds. Today, I travel the great mystery, looking for the other manifestation of universal peace. So we all may sit in a grand council of universal peacekeepers and peacemakers. A whole great spirit, I call out to the all of the universe. It is time we have the grand circle of elder peacemakers come sit in sacred council on Earth Mother's spine. I call to all peacemakers of all time, space, to etch their way out of their eternal struggle and manifest in our universal sacred fire of creation, so we may teach the future generations of the mantle of responsibility. A whole dreamweavers of dreamers. It is I, the friend of all friends. I call to you to reach out to every line of light, creation, and speak to the souls of all seeking peace.
Take a pause. It's creeping back into you. So what I'm going to declare is this is not an eternal spiritual attack. It is just rapid growth. And this serious energy in you is what you got to break for your side of the growth.
Okay.
Okay? And what he's doing, you're perceiving him as taking your energy. He isn't. He's trying to calm it and try to pull the metaphorical stick out of your ass.
Yeah, I do have some fears like around like people and betrayal and trust and stuff like that I'm working on.
Okay.
So that was definitely subconscious, but I'm glad you brought that to my attention.
This isn't about the betrayals. It's how you have created power in you through seriousness.
Okay, that makes sense also.
And it's not power. Serious energy is meant for serious times. Okay?
Now, do you think that's from trying to set boundaries, not setting them, in the beginning and just lashing out?
She's been doing this since she was a kid. It really comes from mother and father, a young adult life, taking control of her own life.
Right.
So what I want now to do is something different. So Trent, what I want you to do is put your hands over her throat very lightly. You're actually touching her skin, and bring your hands like a little closer up to her chin. So that, yeah, there you go. I know this is a little uncomfortable, but I want you to try to read the next part. And I need you to feel his energy forcing your jaw to not be so stiff.
Okay.
And truly enter the thespian, the artiste state, and allow your emotions to flow through your words so the seriousness doesn't deflect the emotion.
Okay.
Okay? Go
The
ahead.
whole dreamweavers of dreamers. It is I, the friend of all friends. I call to you to reach out to every line of light creation and speak to the souls of all seeking peace. A whole great mystery of all mysteries. It is I, the friend of all friends. I ask you to come and sit in the fires of creation to help us dream this dream of peace. I sit before the fires of creation, humbled as the eternal soul. I accept my friendship to all friend spirits. I accept my purpose and place in the great mysteries plan. I know in my heart of hearts, my place in space-time is set, hardened like Earth Mother's shell. I accept my role as universal auditor of fate, destiny, and all other perceptions of a future. I accept myself in total. I accept my other selves in total. I accept myself in equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order.
Okay, pause. How did that feel for you to read with his hands in that position?
I felt like I was able to tap into the more creative aspect of myself.
Okay. What about for you, Trent? What was it like?
I felt like some of it was a little not forced, but not her.
Mm-hmm. That's good answer, because it's the truth. She's trying to find her voice, the non-serious voice, the divine feminine who can be emotional. Okay. So what I want you to do now is you're going to put one hand just at the base and one at the back of her head. Okay. And I need you to send energy from your heart through your arms and into those 2 points. And darling, you just have to feel them as you're reading. Okay.
I accept myself so all other creature beings may have a friend of friends present in the ever-present moment they need peace. I exist in all time space, in all locations of tangible and intangible space. I am formless and shapeless, and shaped and formed. I am the universal auditor of peace, and now I choose to move forward to the future, not set in stone, but set in equal co-creation of peace. I take this first step away from the fires of creation to bring the peacemaker to all friends of friends, so we may pass the word. We are creating it all. Aho, friends of peace. Today I travel to the sacred places of all celestial mysteries to light the great council of peacemakers' fire, sending to all beings of light. The time is now, and the power is in peace. Now I sit on the earth mother, here in the now, waiting in the ever-present moment of moments, with no expectations or precognitive functions active.
Stop. How did that feel for you reading that way?
It's getting easier as we go.
Okay. So what I want you to do is reach into your mouth and pull out seriousness.
Okay.
Pull out all of it. It's deep.
Yeah.
It's in your teeth. It's in your tongue. Okay. It's a long rod of metal. It's all suppression of your voice. Pull it all out. Okay? All the words you never got to say or were suppressed in you are coming out too.
I do feel the release.
Yeah. Pull it out of the roof of your mouth too.
Okay.
Big chunks in there.
Get out. Thank you, baby.
All right. So, Trent, what you're going to do now is put one hand on her forehead and one hand over the bottom of her throat. It's almost a choking thing, but it's not a choking. So you're going to have to put your thumb up to here. There you go. And then the other hand on her forehead. And I want you to send energy from your heart to the back of her brain. Okay? And darling, when you go to read, you got to be the divine feminine who isn't serious.
Okay.
And if you need to stop and pause and pull more shit out, just do it.
Okay.
Go ahead when you're ready.
Okay. I wait for the peacemakers and peacekeepers to etch their way out of their eternal struggle, to sit in universal council of peace. I light the sacred fire in earth's streaming light, with all earth ancestors present in the sacred council of peace. I call forth all DNA lineage ancestors, soul family elders, to add their Akashic records into the sacred fire, so it may reach into the universal dreamweave and connect all lines of creation to Earth's sacred dreaming fire of peace. I place the black stone of the western doorway of perception on this sacred universal celestial medicine wheel of fire. I place the white stone of the northern doorway of perception, so all ancestors in astral and inner earth may hold sacred soul family council of immigration. I place the yellow stone of the east, so grandfather's son may sit in personal council with all sentient kind, knowing the son as an elder grandfather. I place the blue stone to the south for our 7 future generations of dreamers and peacekeepers, so they may come and sit in outer council, so that they may plan their lives in peace in the dream weave of Earth's universal dreaming mind. I bring the universal peace drum in service with Earth Mother, the ancient hide of those long ago in extinction.
There's a lot more to come out on that one. That's not one pull. How are you feeling as you're doing that now?
It's like
Take it all out, baby.
Let it all out, okay? You may need to make a cat noise of like coughing up a hairball to get out. It might help to make that noise.
you're on the back of the head too.
All right.
All right.
All right. Where we at?
Oh, continue. My bad.
Oh, yeah, where was I?
Okay.
Okay, I'll start with the drum. Sorry, Dave.
You're there by the drums.
Some hair in my head. Okay, up here. Okay. I bring the universal peace drum, in service with Earth Mother, the ancient hide of those long ago in extinction, stretched over the eldest grandfather tree of Earth's red road relations. I warm the drum by the fires of dream creation. I wait in silence for the talking drum of universal peace to speak her words, of universal rhythm of peace on all layers of destinies, manifesting the 5th world of peace. And so it begins. With the drum beat, all sacred drum beats come into unison. The Dreamtime Society of the Southern Skies, dream dancers come into view, dancing for peace around the fires of creation. The dancers' feet in perfect synchronicity with the talking drum of universal peace. The ancestral fire tenders come into view, assisting in equal co-creation to feed the fires of dreamtime creation with presence of heart-spaced awareness, turning the sacred coals of the ancient grandmother and grandfather tree spirits who have lived their time on earth, their essence of wisdom and fires of Earth's dreamtime fire of peacemaker assemblage.
Okay. I want you to breathe fire out of your mouth. Visualize dragon's breath coming out of your mouth and melting anything in there.
We've been working with the dragon fire a lot recently. I just did that sacred or the sexual release revocation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon fire one.
There was a big change in you as Trent started holding very powerful space for you. You got to let him do this more because this is his super growth, to hold space for your super growth. And then there'll be the time where it'll be back and forth for each other.
Okay.
A lot of people saw the change in your eyes, the change in your words, the change in your presentation. Again, Trent, you held space like a boss.
Thank you. Thank you. I was wondering, I wonder if Andrew could see the heart chakra turning.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't even have it.
Everyone in the chat look in the chat room. You'll see people talking about it, all right?
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
So much
Trent,
love to all of you.
Trent, what was it like for you doing that, holding that space for her? How did it feel?
There was a couple of times I felt emotional. there was a couple times I felt proud to be able to hold that space. Yeah. We gotta pause. Oh.
No, it was a little disconnection. No big deal.
Okay, I was saying that there was a couple of times that it was emotional for me, and there was a couple of times when I felt proud to be able to hold that space, and I felt proud to hold her as she was speaking her truth.
Yes. Okay. That's a technique you can do with any revocation, any whatsoever, back and forth. The forehead, the neck, the ears. Okay, it's really about sending your energy through the love of holding the space so they can find their voice.
Beautiful thing.
Okay? So,
Thank you.
Amanda,
Yes.
this serious energy, you know it's been in you a long time. What can you do to break it beyond the mystical work?
Yes, it has since I was a child. It's the inner child work. Like I've been working really hard at it, but it's like it keeps coming back.
This is not inner child work. It's self-generated joy without the serious energy manipulating the environment. Okay? You've done enough inner child work to get this potent and powerful. It is literally
I
letting
want
go.
the message to go through.
Yeah, exactly. Letting the serious side go.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
You may even need to fire it, pink slip it.
All right. I'm gonna take
Okay?
care.
I was thinking that her playing more would bring some of the joy to the spirit.
It can, absolutely, but it's what is she going to play with?
Yeah.
Okay? I don't think Barbie dolls are going to do it.
Well, I've been feeling called to like paint recently, so maybe that's something that I could start doing.
You'll be too serious about it. You'll
I
be
love
too
how he
serious.
just puts it out there.
You will be too serious. It's literally got to be something that forces your serious side to not have control. Okay? And
Such as
stand-up
Like
comedy,
doing sports.
music, playing a musical instrument, even though you'll
Okay.
get serious about that too, singing and dancing.
Yeah, singing and dancing is a big one for me.
Okay? But it's got to come with the authentic freedom and not serious plotting and planning.
Okay, freedom.
authentic freedom.
Okay.
You guys did great. You guys
Thank you
did
so
great.
much for that. Like, you know
Thank
how
you
much
so
I
much.
needed that, so I appreciate it a lot.
We
I
were,
think it's been a really big blockage for me for a very long time. So
we wanted to call in for a while. Some of the time we was being chicken shit. Some of the time we knew that we could just watch your videos and get what we needed. And then there was a couple of times where we're like, oh, we want to get to this point and then call in. And then like, finally, we're just like, we're calling
doing it.
Andrew.
We're
We're calling
doing it right
Andrew.
And you did it.
I don't know if you've been waiting for us or we're just like thinking that, but like, I don't know. We're like,
Wheel of
Andrew, what's
Callers.
this call?
Wheel of Callers is what
Wheel
universe.
of Callers.
Oh, we knew.
Right?
We knew if we called, we was coming right on, and we had a feeling we were going to be second too.
It's so funny. Yeah, I'm like, watch us be the second caller. They said trim them in. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. Is there anything for me personally that I could like? I want to be able. I'm a double Pisces, so I'm tapped into like, you know what I mean. I'm deep, but my visions. It's hard for me to like access them, and like I'm blocked off, man.
Oh, you're not blocked off. Vision comes last on the journey.
I'm thinking I'm blocked off, which is
Yeah. You're having expectation
okay.
that I'm going to see everything. And no, vision, you can have a vision without vision.
Yes.
Okay.
And you got to
That's so-
allow the vision to be without vision. So what I'm going to suggest for you, because you spent time in prison, you've got to start working on your sense of smell. So you got to start a journey of smelling new things. So get like a scented oil kit.
Okay.
Go to the store and buy as many cooking
Oh,
spices,
we
even
got
if you
all the
never
oils
cooked
and
them.
spices. We sell herbs and we have a whole shelf of essential oils. So I'm on that.
We're not promoting.
So the thing is, smell can trigger vision.
Okay.
Okay. And you got to see yourself as, your superpower for the next couple months is smelling. Okay. And let it trigger you into greater spiritual awareness.
Okay.
We gotta go get a new diffuser now.
Go get a new diffuser. I'm thinking also that they want me doing more of my own personal meditations, like by myself.
Yeah. And created by yourself. Use what I have as a template to bring you lower and lower and lower, but it's still got to have your imprint on it so it makes a bigger difference. And then record it and go back into a meditative state. And does it actually work by putting you down, putting you under?
And can I understand what I'm saying thoroughly through the whole thing?
Correct. Teaching yourself your own teachings.
I wrote an equal exchange revocation. I used a little bit of what you said, but like the in-between stuff, all me, baby.
You want to read it for us?
Yeah, I'll read it.
We're gonna move over this way a little bit because the internet's being weird.
Andrew asked me to read my contract revocation on his show. All right.
There we go.
Okay. Ready?
Go ahead.
Like I said, I used a little bit of your stuff in the beginning and the end. All right. I call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existences in this dimension and time stream, all time streams above and below the Earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creative moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified, proper spiritual court of equity, so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth, birth, and puberty process. I call forth the proper spiritual court of equity to hear my decree of contract removal. I call forth all ancestors of all soul relations to hold space in this spiritual court of equity. I call to Earth Mother and all her light denizens within all inner and outer space to come forward and occupy this spiritual court of equity. I, in the ever-present moment of now, hereby declare myself a being of equal energetic exchange. I, in the ever-present moment of now, declare myself a being existing to exchange energy equally. I, in the ever-present moment of now, declare myself a being who keeps balance and significance to the scales of exchange. I, in the ever-present moment of now, declare myself a being who understands the value of my experience, the value of truth through my perspective, and the value of equal energetic exchange. I, in the ever-present moment of now, hereby declare only to exchange with beings who are here to have an equal energetic exchange with my I am presence for the sole exchange of fulfillment, growth, and purity. I, in the ever-present moment of now, permanently revoke all beings in exchange, harvesting energy from my I am in any way, shape, or form, past, present, and future. I, in the ever-present moment of now, permanently revoke all beings from my past, present, and future who are not of equal energetic exchange, who are directing false truth into my I am in any way, shape, or form, past, present, and future. I, in the ever-present moment of now, declare my experience, my value, one that is my currency to exchange. I, in the ever-present moment of now, declare my I am self in complete possession of my currency, which is my I am experience. I now state with full sovereign conviction that I am now fully present in the mighty I am self. I declare from this point forth, I now operate with this permanent spiritual court of equity when relating to healing the divine masculine or divine feminine, so perversion, inversion, confusion, and illusion never re-enters my field of expression. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is now in dominion with me for all forms of interpersonal relations, for all sentient kind existing and coexisting on Earth Mother's realms. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic record for all sentient kind to understand our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. You learned the lessons by creating your own, using the template of what was there to motivate you, but you learned the lessons and you created an incredible thing about your value, your currency.
Yes, I finally was able to understand like what my value even is, what exchange even is, like, and it's ours. Like they can't take our value and just exchange it with whoever they want. That's BS, you know? So it's important that we state that in the spiritual court of equity. My experience is my possession, my value, to exchange with whom, when, and how I please. And so it is.
And so it was, and so it will be, because you have made it as part of the Earth Akashic record for everyone to hear it. Yeah. Amazing work.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay.
And honestly, thank you for everything. Like, I'm not going to kiss your ass or nothing, but
And I don't want you to.
I do want to thank you, like, sincerely for everything, because like you and one other person is pretty much like who we go to. Like, we watch you on YouTube, like that's it. We have an advisor that helps us, and like that's it. Like, we're watching YouTube Andrew videos and like doing our own thing, and like that's it. And it's got us far. It's got us super far. So thank you so much.
And it'll get you all the way to a place you didn't even realize that it wasn't an end. It was just an even longer range.
Yeah.
Because as you guys go through your growth and expansion, you realize the world's your oyster. Start strategizing early, and you'd be surprised how easy it is to harvest the pearls out of the oyster over and over and over again.
And that's how it was supposed to be.
Yep.
Like, they literally created it for us to just keep creating, keep experiencing, keep creating new, experiencing new, and not shitting on anybody else.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to get people to realize. Like, you can have everything you want as long as you're centered in truth. Right? I'm shaking everything.
The passion in both of you is incredible.
Thank you.
Okay? Revel in the passion tonight. Yeah. Okay? Revel in the passion. Make passionate love to each other tonight. Share it. Grow with it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. We
You're
will
welcome.
be back for sure.
And listen, we got a little Zoom thing, and yes, the bar's set high with Andrew's show, but we would like you to come on eventually and just like
Absolutely.
kick the shit,
I'm there.
man.
I'm there.
All right, brother. I appreciate you so much.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for calling in and sharing your
All right,
healing
I
journey
love
with
you,
everyone.
Andrew.
Love you too, guys.
Talk to you soon.
All right, Robert. That was an incredible journey that we were able to share with them. And we got a lot of hands up. Let's move on to the next caller.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Okay, next caller will be Anke. Signal to unmute.
Anke, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm in Saratoga, California at the moment.
Saratoga, California. How did you feel about that last caller?
That was really powerful. I felt like a really big shift. I like had a lot of tears actually with Amanda, like really feeling that super deeply. Yeah.
What
Activating my own.
made you feel that way?
I think it was like a reawakening and a remembering of like the activation of my own divine feminine aspect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what did you want to talk about today?
I don't even know. Like I'm having my little nervous moment, but I saw the email today. I haven't really been super tapped in with you lately, and I just got the call. I was like, I'm supposed to be on today, and
here
I
you
just knew
are.
I was supposed to be here. Yeah. That's always how it works.
Okay.
Yep. So, a lot of different, I mean, I'm in this kind of soup of like where am I going in my life, and where's my business going? I just spent like 4 months down in the Yucatan. I was like visiting all these old Mayan temples. Like I got some kind of activations downloads there, but I still don't completely know like what to do with that. There's some possibility to go do like women's retreats down there. There's relationship stuff. There's like many things. So I don't know. I'm kind of
let's look at the
open.
relationship issue first.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Um,
Okay, take a pause. You
Yeah.
have very unique body language. You have to look to your top and right for answers and your bottom left for answers you don't like.
For answers I don't like.
Yeah. It's a spiritual faux pas going on in your body language. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's just something to help you realize how much you avoid certain subject matters. When I said, what's wrong with it? You went, and then down to the left. So what's really wrong with it without beating around the bush, and give it the hard answer? Looking up for the answer.
I'm looking up for the answer.
The answer is inside. It's not up there.
It's just not what I want yet. And I don't know if it will be, but I keep getting signs to keep persisting and stick with it, and more work on me, and just like put it to the side for now and see what happens. That's
So
like
what's actually wrong with it? You're still avoiding the answer. Looking up to the other direction.
Yeah. There's neither of us is really ready and willing to commit.
Okay.
And I'm not even sure that I'm ready for that with anyone.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm still working on committing to me and what I'm actually doing.
I want you to do this. Okay. And finish talking to me about why it isn't working. You're silent now. You're silent now. What's wrong is you've actually rejected him already, and you just haven't come to the answer, and your body language is telling it. Your body is rejecting him, not because he's a bad person, because he's just not right. He doesn't fit who you are now and who you're going to be. This doesn't mean you can't share a friendship or an intimacy journey. It just means there is no unique future for the two of you in an emotionally stable relationship.
Does that feel like written in stone? Like, or is this something that can be
Go back.
Is this something that can be shifted?
It's not something that can be shifted because it's a full body rejection right now.
I feel like that goes back and forth though. And that's the interesting part.
That's the battle between your sympathetic and parasympathetic. Thus, while you're looking up and down, and when you put yourself up, you couldn't answer because your parasympathetic was trying to override you with a truth you've been regularly avoiding in other relationships previous to this. Because you were very body involved with your previous partners. And unfortunately, the body involvement with the previous partners, though it may have been passionate and had some weird things from it, it took you out of your sovereignty.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So you need to be body involved with yourself. Okay. What kind of diet do you have?
It's sort of mostly like vegetarian, but I do eat eggs and fish from time to time, and I do a lot of
What's your protein?
Mostly, well, eggs, nuts, beans.
Okay, so an egg is 6 grams. An egg is only 6 grams of protein, and a cup of nuts is only 9 grams of protein. So how are you getting 40 grams of protein in a day?
I probably am not, but it depends. I do protein powder too.
Protein powder doesn't count. It's hollow, and protein powder is only for building muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What this is your body is reaching out and saying, you need to balance your protein. If you want to be a vegetarian, you just have to learn to be a better vegetarian and shop correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Or find the protein alternatives that are going to keep you far more balanced, so that as you're going through the spiritual awakening and journey, you have fuel to draw on for vision. Like the couple before you, they probably spent 2,000 calories to be able to do that in that 15 minutes. In your intestinal tract, you don't have 2,000 calories in reserve to immediately burn.
No, but I probably have some on my body.
Sure, you do.
Yeah.
But if the body is in high energy need and there's nothing immediately available, long chain carbohydrates or proteins, it immediately goes to the muscle and burns muscle. And that is creating a cyclical cycle of self vampirism in you.
Like you're feeling that, because I feel like my body is really strong right now.
It is, but it's stuck between sucking on its own energy and using spiritual energy for a greater growth. So you're getting net zero out of a lot of your spiritual journeys instead of net positive. And as long as you start adding more and more proteins, that's protein bars, so that there is a longer term protein reserve, you won't immediately go to burning muscle.
Okay.
That's the way the human body works. If it needs energy and there's no protein available in the intestinal tract, it immediately goes to burn muscle. That is a vampiristic process. Again, it's not negative. It's the nature of the human body. And by being more conscientious about the protein intake over a period of a month, not over a period of a few small days, if it's an average of 40 grams of protein a day, at the end of the month, it's 1,200 grams. I'm willing to say you're at about 700. So that at the end of the month, you're still 500 grams short. Okay? If you take that into your bigger spiritual strategy, all of the spiritual work you have will be far more effective for you. Okay? Okay. You're doing a lot of spiritual work, and you need to give yourself the fuel to do that spiritual work. Okay? I know this is tough for you to hear. I can see it in your face. Okay.
Part of me is like, I just feel like I don't actually need that much protein. Like
that's bullshit.
I've gotten that message before, you know, like where it's like, you don't need that right now.
It's total bullshit. It's propaganda and bullshit. Proper diet. And again, you can remain fully vegetarian. You just have to shop better and make sure you're not forcing yourself to pretend fast every few days. Because every time you pretend fast, it takes 7 or 8 days for your body to go back to a normal state of creating its own energy and working within the energies that are within yourself that you're trying to grow through your spiritual processes.
And what do you mean by pretend fast? Because I do intermittent fasting, but do you mean like...
I'm just not going to eat today. I don't need dinner or lunch. I'll have a breakfast, or you'll have no breakfast and eat a little tiny dinner. And the next day comes and you don't have breakfast and you have just a lunch, and you do that 3 days in a row. And then you eat a whole bunch of food the next day after that. That is an internal food propaganda system that is actually limiting you from having even more powerful visions and experiences. Intermittent fasting with strategy is a very good process. It's meant to clean the intestinal tract out so that you can have a more healthy body, a clean liver, as well as a bigger dream space. Okay.
So you think I should eat more times a day?
No, it's about measuring it as a habit pattern, so that at the end of the month, where am I really at? So that the answer is, am I much closer to my average, or am I way lower than my average? So that the next month you make an attempt to get your average up, so that you can see what the average amount of protein, higher amounts, actually does for you month to month. This is charting your energy course. Okay. This form of unique body awareness is something your parasympathetic is trying to help. It's why you have so much body language going through you right now.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What other kind of questions do you want to ask?
Well, I guess just to go back to the relationship piece, like, do I need to let that go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yes. You need to let
completely?
it go. Yeah. You need to let it go.
Okay.
Can he be a booty call? No.
No?
Not now. Not in the
Okay.
interim of coming into your power from all the journeys that you made and the ponderings and the inner work you do on yourself. Having his presence there is going to make it too difficult for you to really to go into your unique space that may require days to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the other question then is, you know, where there's this, like, I feel like I've manifested this person that, like, where it's not ready
Sure
or
you
I'm
did.
not ready.
You
So,
did
like,
manifest him.
huh?
You did manifest him.
I did manifest him. I know that. And, you know, it's like part of me is still like, maybe I could manifest like a version of him that, you know, but then I'm like, it's clear to me that whatever I do, I guess, is I need the space to like come into myself, whether it's him or another person. But I really want that. Like, I'm like, you know, when am I going to be ready? Like, what do I mean, I guess focus on the protein and the other things, but it's,
As the emotions come out now.
yeah.
Okay. This is a good thing.
Yeah, no.
This is a good thing. Let it out. Let the emotions out. Do you want to be a mother right now in your body? Ask your body, do I need to be a mother to a child?
That's the tricky one. I'm like really confused about that. Like, I kind of want it, but I'm at the age where it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
And I thought I did, but now I'm not sure.
Okay. I want you to put your hand over your womb and send love there. And I want you to see your face inside your womb, filling it up with joy and happiness so that you can begin the feeling of being pregnant. And ask your body, am I ready to be pregnant? Am I ready to be a mother? And what does your body, not your brain, say?
I feel like super blocked on this one.
Mm-hmm. Let's go a little deeper. See your face inside your womb, smiling, happy, joy, spreading light inside the womb.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm usually so intuitive, and it's like like there's part of it that feels like shriveled up almost. Like
your brain is still overriding your body.
Yeah.
Okay. Your brain is still overriding your body. So put one hand over your heart, one hand over your womb, and project energy through those hands, those powerful hands that you know, those hands that have been on journeys with you, those hands that have been through South America. Okay. Send energy into that heart, down the heart energy into the womb. See your face in there and make it real inside your womb. See a torrent of blue energy filling up your womb. Your crown chakra, like waterfalls going down your crown, filling up your entire womb with the infinite possibility of giving life, just as your mother gave life to you.
it's like I can feel the possibility and there's still this like contraction
Mhm.
or like fear.
Mhm.
And I think this is coming from my brain, but also from that potential life, or maybe it's more just my brain.
This,
I don't know,
this,
but it's
this is all brain.
yeah.
This is all brain.
It just feels like a fear. Like if I can't get it together in my own life, how can I get it together to take care of a child or a
Mhm.
partner?
That's all brain still. That's all brain.
I know, but it's
Okay.
there.
It's okay. It's okay. It's valid, but it isn't the truth. This is about the body. And this is why I talk to you about food. Okay. See bright rainbow torrents of energy coming out of your hands and filling up the inside of your body, not just your womb. Nurture every cell in your intestinal tract and all of your internal organs. Nothing is without want right now. It is completely filled with your love. Everything is completed energetically. All the energetic circuits inside you are completed. Lots of emotion bubbling up in you. Where's this emotion coming from?
In my body or in my brain?
Both.
It's like part of me wants it, but I don't know if I want it, and I don't know if I can even have it. Like there's this really strong feeling in me still with all the work I've done that's like, I don't know if I can actually have what I want.
You don't feel worthy.
Yeah, like, you know, and I know I've worked on this so fucking much, and it's like really annoying, but it's like because I haven't, you know, like actualized certain things in my life. So it's like, you know, I don't feel like I'm like a match to the partner that I really,
Mhm.
you know.
I get it.
Yeah, and there is that desire, there has been that desire. And then there's also like, well, what if I'm just not meant to do that in this life? What if I'm not supposed to?
That's doubt letting in, destroying your vision and potential. No more what ifs. Okay? You can't doubt your divine nature of being a woman and giving birth.
What if I'm too old?
Listen, just the other day, a 78-year-old woman gave birth in India.
I've heard those stories.
Okay? How old are you?
42.
Yeah, it's still possible. Okay? Child will be 62. You'll be 62 and the child's 20. That's for great. Okay?
Yeah.
Now ask your heart and your body, can you adopt?
No.
Why?
Why?
Ask the body, not the brain.
I mean, my body had this immediate response of like, ugh. Like,
This is ancestral coming through you.
Okay.
And all of what you're experiencing right now is the need to give birth to a child and pass on the legacy that was passed on to you from your mother. To keep the lineage going.
Yeah.
But the most important part of the lineage is how you were raised. Who loved you and who taught you about love? And what do you have to teach a child about love? Unconditional love.
Yeah. I still really have that desire though. If I was gonna have one, I like want to have it through my own body.
That's fine too. That's
Yeah.
part of your DNA urges right now. It's actually coming from the body. And that's why this journey is so tough for you right now. Now I want you to ask your body, can I be at peace if I don't have a child? Or will I seal this all the way into my 80s?
Or will I seal this? What do you
Feel
mean?
this all the way into my 80s. This
Right.
need to have a child.
Right.
Is it something I can come to terms with in my ancestral journey?
Well, I do feel like my mom is at peace with whatever I do at this point, whereas there used to be a lot of pressure.
Mhm. That's your mom. That's not your body.
I know. I would feel sad, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's like, yeah, she's like, we'll deal. We'll deal if we don't do it. But
There
it's
will
like,
be.
what is this, what is this expression here for if not for that?
Right. This is a regret. Okay. In spiritual practices and journey, what have you learned about regret?
Let it go. It doesn't serve to hold on to it.
Okay. Can you let go of regret?
Are you speaking specifically like, could I let go of regretting this if it doesn't happen? Or do you mean, can I let go of regret in general?
Both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It feels challenging, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. No more challenging than any of the hard stuff you've gone through in life. Okay. It's going to be an emotional one. Okay. This is the tick-tock of time and your inner woman biological clock going, give birth, woman. Okay. Have you ever thought about becoming a doula?
I did when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. I want you to think about it. Being around pregnant women for a bit. See how that energy helps you.
Mm.
The other choice, maybe it's time to take on students. Teach them your wisdom another way. Teach them about your love in another way. To step up in your life and to fully become into your adult power and no longer following the path of others, your internal path. But I'm here to help others get out of their ruts, their despair.
I mean, I already do that to some degree, like I already
know
have.
what I mean. Next leveling it.
Yeah.
Next leveling it. Okay.
Yeah. And there's still the sadness if I don't do the other thing. And like, I really desire the partnership. Like that part, I feel like really clear. Like I want that.
But right now, your body's rejecting it.
Well, with this person, right?
This individual, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What won't your body reject? Let's look at the potential of the man. What are his requirements and not dating app requirements?
It feels pretty high. It's like.
Got a high bar set.
Yeah.
Are they realistic?
I don't know. I've been questioning that.
They're not.
They're not
realistic. No.
Well, then I'm wondering if they're not realistic. Maybe that's part of the reason I'm rejecting this man on some level, because I feel like when I really appreciate all the things I do love about him, then I come back to like,
right, because
he's actually amazing.
You've lowered the bar to a real level, and you're not rejecting him by the body at that moment. Okay. When the bar is set so high, that's when the parasympathetic goes overactive and takes control. So as you actively lower the bar, you won't reject him as much. And you may come to terms with the inner energy of lowering the bar to truthful levels. Raw, truthful levels.
I think that's what I was feeling, Andrew, because it's like I keep getting this thing of like, don't completely give up on it, but like come
Yes.
back to like.
But as long as the body's rejecting him, it's going to be this emotional roller coaster for you. Okay? Okay? It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
This is a big healing for you.
And then
That's
like oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's why the universe chose you to be the third caller. Okay.
Told me to get on.
There you go. Told you to get on. Here you go.
Yep.
So don't give up on him. You got to change your internal. And as long as your body's rejecting him, it's going to create this emotional roller coaster. Okay. What makes him a good man for you? And this is all brainy. This is all brainy energy here.
Do you want me to go more into the body, or you want me to answer?
Brainy
Okay.
energy.
He gets me. He sees me.
Like no one else.
We have a fucking amazing sexual connection.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Great. Is it all just that?
No, it's like this depth, you know, like there's this depth, and then he just, it's like this knowing, like he just, I have this feeling with him, like.
But it isn't enough to calm your body and lower the standards of the princess looking for the prince. Okay? Come to the truth. There's a connection. Body, do you feel the connection, body? Brain sure as hell feels the connection. Ask the body, do you feel the connection when we have incredible orgasms? It can't deny that truth. Okay? So, bitch body, what's wrong with you? Okay?
Well, and part of it is the baby thing, like, you know, that, do I want that or not? He was sort of open to it at first. And then it was like, oh, I don't know. And he's like more on the side of not, because he already has two, you know, older.
Okay.
And so it's like, that feels like a big choice too, right? Like I have to, if I do choose them, I have to face.
Could you be a stepmom?
Yeah.
And does it
like
fit into the fairy princess world to be a stepmom?
Yeah. I mean, I've had moments of it where I felt like really good about it, actually. I was like, I'm the good stepmom, not the evil stepmom. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little exercise, an intimacy exercise to do with him. Okay. So start fully clothed, and you're going to ask him, this is an intimacy exercise, that every time you look away, he's got to make you look at him. Okay. You've got to get eye contact, not staring eye contact, to help override the parasympathetic energies of the high bar. And he's got to have to find some poetic words to keep your eyes gaze. Okay. And then you're going to have poetic words back to him to keep his eyes gaze. And then you engage into light petting that allows the love to come through the tips of your fingers, so that your body can get used to his presence at his level that your brain has already accepted. When the brain and the heart don't disagree, the heart isn't always right. Okay? You've enforced something that love for your future man will only be this. And you can change it through this intimacy training. And then it gets a little bit more passionate and it starts to kiss, and the hands go into the places that create unique eye contact and pleasure until you both rise to a climax. Okay, and end up forehead to forehead, intertwined in your bodies, completed as a circuit. Okay. Feel that in yourself. You've had it before with him. And why are you rejecting it? It's perfect, isn't it? It's what you need. Little princess inside you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I had this moment when we first connected, like where he put his arm around me in this way, and I just knew it. Like I knew like this is really what I've been looking for my whole life. And then there was like an internal like little girl part of me that I had a fucking fit because I was like, it's not all the things I think it should look like.
Exactly. This is exactly what I was describing.
Yeah, she had a tantrum. Like I literally had a tantrum.
Full-on tantrum. Okay. Okay. And you got to overload that little girl with his passion. And you got to tell her, bitch, please. He is right. Okay. You got to be stern with her. Is she just temper tantruming?
She's good at that.
Oh, yeah. She's pro. Okay. Does this bring some peace to you?
Yeah. There's parts of me that are still like, okay, how do I actualize the part of me that like I feel like there are things in me that I need to actualize to meet him. Like,
what do you need to actualize in you? Give it words.
My career mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your career?
I mean, I'm a healer too. Just like I do readings for people. I do energy work.
What's your average monthly clients at?
Oh God, it fluctuates so much. Sometimes it's like 30, sometimes it's like 10. Like right now, it's like super dead because I'm in this very internal place and I'm like, my energy is not there right now.
Okay.
It sort of fluctuates with my own energy, but I haven't, like I've talked to you about this before. It was a while ago, like just like getting my shit together. I feel like I just need to like hire people to like, but money is like an issue, but hire people to just like help me get shit done because I get so like overwhelmed.
Hiring people will not solve your issue. Okay. If you are already in high and low energies, getting 30 in a month or 5 in a month the next month, you are capable of balancing it at 15. That has to be your goal. Every month, 15 clients. Does that feel like it's too much for you? Even when you're in your emotional spaces and doing your internal processing?
No, I mean, and it's just, I feel like I'm meant to maybe start doing like group stuff too and
sure.
retreats.
So it's roughly 4 clients in a week.
And I
balance that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has to be your laser focus. I'm going to use my courage to get myself to this balance so I feel worthy of his love. Okay? Give yourself the gift of his love. Okay? And the next thing here is gathering clients. You've already figured out how to do it. You just have to do it consistently, even when you're going through your emotional ups and downs.
Yeah.
I have my emotional ups and downs. Okay? Sometimes I have to cancel clients, and then sometimes I go months without having to cancel one. If you got to cancel one, reschedule them and give them a little benefit for canceling. Don't feel guilty about it. Okay? And the next thing is you got to start doing some personal spiritual magic around the time that you have your period. You know when it comes, and that 3 days when the period is its most powerful, you have to schedule ritual and ceremony of healing yourself and calling back all the emotional energies to be grounded into you, so the next month you're ready to take on the month.
Well, you mean the first 3 days of the actual period, or
whatever works most for you.
Okay.
Now you know what it's the most intense times of it. And that's when you should be doing your most intense ritual and self-healing prayers, ceremonies, deep endeavors into your personal psyche, calling back all the shards, emotional shards. Do readings for yourself, using all the skills that you would use for others on yourself. You do that, you're going to balance all of that. Okay? And every day you have to say, I'm worthy of all of this.
Yeah, it's just making the time and space for it.
And not feeling guilty about other things.
Yeah, that guilt of like, I'm not getting shit done.
And thus you beat yourself up and never get it done the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yeah.
There are some days you just can't do it. Admit it, acknowledge it, and say, I take this day off to recover from this, but I summon my courage tomorrow to do what is needed to be done. Just as if there was a baby crying in the next room waiting for their diaper to be changed, or waiting for their milk. You are your own baby, and you need to nurture yourself when it's time for nurturing. And then when it's time to get up and to feed the child and send them off to school, you're doing that because it's your future. And the more attentive you are to your future, the more potent your present is. Okay? You went through a big change. You go back and look in this and you see how you started in the beginning, how your body language went from none to the other, and you've got a glow on you now, okay? You got a glow.
I feel it.
Yeah, everyone can see it too. Everyone can feel it. There's peace inside you where there wasn't peace before.
Yeah, like lots of. Yeah.
Okay. Do you do anything artistic?
I dance. I used to draw and paint, but I haven't done it in a long time.
Would he be willing? Would he be willing to dance with you and to go to actual like dance classes?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Before.
I'm sure you can find a classical dance teacher, one that really has to teach you how to be in rhythm and step with each other. Tango, emotional lovers, eye contact. It will help a lot. It will help a lot.
I've wanted to learn tango for a long time, so.
Okay. Yeah. It's a couple classes a month. Okay. So from the very beginning of this session, when I said no, he isn't right for you, it's because your body is still in that situation. You're coming to different terms with it now. And now you understand why you're rejecting him. The bar was raised. In this little time that we've had here, we've lowered the bar and the truth has come out. And you're going to have to continually take the bar from way up there, come back down. It's too high. Okay? You're going to have to regularly tell the princess to fuck off. Okay? This isn't the fantasy anymore. This is true. This guy loves me. It's real. Why am I rejecting it? I am worthy of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Be in gratitude today. Be in gratitude. Gratitude because you finally got at the core of the confusion. Okay.
It's been there for a minute, Andrew.
Yeah, it's been there for a minute. Okay. Over the next couple days, you're gonna have to pull that bar back down and back down and back down, and so you may even have to shove it really far down so it doesn't raise up again, so you can truly see what you have around you right now. As the woman in the position that you're in, okay. And no spirit is working through you, working with you. You know it. You know it.
Oh yeah.
Stop resisting it. Okay. Clients will flow through you. Do you smoke cannabis at all?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever?
Yeah. Almost never.
Almost never. When's the last time you'd say you smoked it?
Maybe sometime, maybe like February, January, maybe.
I'm not telling you to go out and buy any, but if any is ever offered to you, take a puff. Take a puff. And this is not to become a regular smoker. Sometimes you just need something that helps take off the internal edges. Can you do that with a drink? You can do it with a drink too. But cannabis has a much more unique brain calming effect than alcohol.
Yeah, my body doesn't do well with alcohol either. It's like very,
it rejects it. And if it isn't that, there are other things that you can figure out that can just aid the body into just relaxing and stop trying to control everything. Okay?
yeah. I'm just gonna let that one out for a second.
Yeah, it's okay. Let it out. Okay.
I know, like, he has said that to me before that, you know, like, he feels this, like, uptight energy, you know, around that stuff. And I get, like, with the drinking, it's like, I really can't. My body fucking hates it. But, like, excuse my language.
Okay. I swear all the time, like I said.
I forgot. But yeah, it's like, but yeah, like, I think there's like still, because of like past experiences with it, there's this like puritanical energy that I can get around some of that stuff. And so
That's persecution, self-persecution.
yeah, and just like scary experiences.
Yeah.
And
who taught you how to persecute yourself?
Mom, probably, mostly.
Okay.
You know, and people of other lifetimes. And
Sure. What's the unique way you can get yourself to get out of persecution energy? Just as if a client had come to you, what would you tell them?
like if they were persecuting themselves?
Yeah. I want you to see yourself being paid right now to do a session for yourself. See the money coming out of the universe and going into your wallet and activating the paid reader into you. Okay? There's this woman laughing and crying and laughing, and it comes up to the word persecution. And what does your psychic reader side say? Reading yourself as the paid reader.
It's not, none of it is true. Like it's not real. There's no truth behind.
How can you make your client believe that? Who's stuck and mired in the persecution energy? Spirit has the words for you. Let it flow. Let it rip.
Yeah.
You've been paid.
Yeah, you just, well, I think it's kind of, I'm like, just let it go. Just let it go. And like have more compassion for yourself. Like you don't need to go there anymore. It's just, coming back to the inside, the peace, the knowing. I'm still like looking for it a little.
Paid reader. You got to feel that exchange for value in you. You have just been paid your value as a reader to read yourself.
It's something in the body too. It's going into the body, and like I feel like it's literally like pulling the energy out and clearing the energy out. It's like taking it out from
Pull it
wherever.
out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Literally pull it out. Whatever it is, pull it out. You've been paid to do this. Pull it all out. Leave nothing unturned. All the persecution energy.
And like letting yourself feel it as you take it out. Like all the places that it's been stored. And afterward,
all the things it forced you to look at, pull it out of your eyes, all the visions that you were forced to be persecuted through.
Yeah. And it feels like when I'm done, I need to like move it, like dance it out, you know, like think it out, move it through.
belly dance it out. Yep. Pour out. Yep. Get them hips moving. Reach into your mouth, deep into your mouth, pull it all out. All the words that have been suppressed and forced, and the self-deprecating words. The roof of your mouth. You got some big chunks on the roof of your mouth. There you go.
So I was feeling that when Amanda was doing it. It's like, there's like all this stuff on my back too. It's like the back of my heart.
Okay. I want you to take one of your hands and push it into your heart and see it go through your heart and come out the back. Okay. And clean through you got your hand in the front, but energetically it's coming out the back and you're pulling everything out. You got another energetic hand coming out the back, pulling everything out of the back of the heart.
Am I pulling out the front and the back at the same time?
Yes, front and back at the same time.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Good girl.
There's some right here still too.
Okay, pull it out of your breasts. A lot of emotional energy tied up in there.
Yeah, there's like lifetimes of shit in that.
Yeah. Reach into your woman parts, down low, pull it out. We even got a vomit response out of you.
Just like so much ick. It's like,
Do you have access to a hot tub?
There's a big bathtub here.
All right. You need to go have woman time in the bathtub and pull this shit out. All right. Having that water makes it so much more easier. All right. And maybe you can do a salt scrub at the end. It'll help you get out of that icky, grimy, oily energy. Okay. So one last one. I want you to reach into your nose and see an energetic finger go into your brain and pull shit out of the left nostril. And it may hurt. Okay. And it made me feel like a giant fucking piece. But you can make it energy orifice open up and not do damage to you. And pull this 5-ton rock out of your nose. Ugh. Now do the other nostril too. There's a little more in that other one nostril. Yeah. This has been blocking your third eye. Huh?
Yeah, it's felt like a little bit like that lately. So that makes sense. So the other one?
And the other one deep as you're scraping your brain and grabbing hold of it so it can't let go, like a rat's tail, and you're pulling it out. There you go. Much better. There, you're at peace now. Okay.
Yeah, I feel more, I'm back like in myself more.
Yeah, we all can see it. Okay. You're a powerful woman. And sometimes you use your power against yourself. Okay. Okay. And that's all that this is right now. Realigning your power and using it. Okay. Okay. When this session gets replayed on YouTube, maybe a good idea for you to go back, watch your body language. Be the reader of yourself. Okay. It's going to give you some tremendous intuitions. Okay. You're welcome, darling. Go have a good night. Celebrate your victory tonight. Go and have soapy, sudsy bathtub. Okay. Make it all about you. Pampering time. Okay.
Sounds good.
You have a great night. Good talking to you.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot for calling in. Alrighty, everybody. That was another really, really powerful healing. And where are we at? Oh shit, it's already big time overtime right now. I think we're going to call it an end to the show right now. And thanks a lot for everyone calling in. And right now we're running a special on anybody that's looking to have private sessions with me. It will be up in the show description. So come on by, contact MPA at Galactic Historian. You can also look at the link that Jen has in the chat room here. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys for our next comedy show where Monty, Melissa, and myself will be exploring the uniqueness of comedy. Alrighty, everyone. Have a great day.
Each different bubble of reality is
I
true.
invited Monty and
A
Melissa.
galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge. It's the holy grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.
Hello. Let's create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep sacred. The keys to success: choice, 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 and choice.